Hello everyone and welcome back to me, Shiva Wilson, and my channel, which is all about legalizing recreational cannabis in the UK. Now today I've got 3 conversations about cannabis here, so we're going to do a little dramatization just to get across some points about cannabis. The first one is the officer and the user. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it. The officer and the user. The second one is the doctor and the patient. And the third one is the cat and the chimpanzee. So we're going to have 3 conversations here. I shall dramatize them for you just now. Here we go. The officer and the user. Now this is setting in our park bench in Vancouver in Canada. So the characters are Officer Davies, a seasoned RCMP officer experienced with the changing cannabis laws, and Alex, a young casual cannabis user enjoying a pre-rolled joint. Here's a conversation. Officer Davies: good afternoon, sir. I noticed you enjoying a little smoke. Just letting you know we're here to ensure everyone's safety and compliance with the law. Mind if I ask you a few questions? I'd be terrified right now. Alex says, sure, officer, no problem. Officer Davies: is this legal cannabis? I mean, do you have the receipt, and is it from a licensed retailer? Alex says, yeah, it's from a store downtown. I got the receipt, but I left it in my backpack. Officer Davies says, no worries, I trust you. Just a reminder, it's important to stay aware of the regulations regarding consumption. You can't smoke in public spaces like this. You're fine today, but just be careful in the future. Alex says, got it, officer. Thanks for the heads up. I didn't realize. Officer Davies says, no problem. Have a nice day, Alex. You too. So that's an interesting conversation that could happen in Vancouver. So basically, Alex has got slightly told off for smoking in public spaces. So in some places in Canada, you're not allowed to smoke in public. I don't know if it's all across the board because they do everything by province. All the regulations I've heard recently are done province by province, but they've got some blanket overall, like federal type laws, I think, as well. I'm not sure. If you want to look into Canada, have a look online. As you know, check it out. What are the rules in Canada for cannabis? But yeah, in some places you can't smoke in public places. So there you go. That's kind of a nice conversation between a police officer and a user that wouldn't happen in Britain necessarily, I don't think. So the next conversation is the doctor and the patient, setting a doctor's office, a comfortable examination room. The characters are Dr. Lee, a compassionate and experienced physician specializing in pain management, and Sarah, a patient struggling with chronic pain seeking relief through medical cannabis. Dr. Lee says, so Sarah, tell me more about your pain and how it's affecting your daily life. Sarah says, it's been a long struggle, doctor. I have chronic back pain and it's getting harder to manage. I've tried various medications and therapies, but nothing seems to work for long. I think a lot of people have been there, haven't they? Dr. Lee says, I understand. I see a lot of patients in your situation. Have you considered medical cannabis? Which, of course, in the UK is legal, people. Look it up. It's legal. Medical cannabis is legal. You can have one of many different conditions, and they've got lots of different treatments available, from oils to capsules to flour to vape carts even. Different ways of getting the cannabis into your system to help with your medical issue. And they do mental health problems as well. But you can't have had psychosis or schizophrenia, which I have had. So that's why I'm doing a recreational legalization campaign. So yeah, have you considered medical cannabis? She says. He says, Dr. Lee. I presume it's a man. I'm not sure. Lee. That's the surname, isn't it? So it could be anyone. Sarah says, I've heard about it, but I'm not sure if it's the right fit for me. And Lee's is a gender non-specific name, isn't it? Dr. Lee. Well, it's a doctor. Sarah says, I've heard about it, but I'm not sure if it's the right fit for me. It seems a bit intimidating. Dr. Lee says, don't worry, Sarah. I can explain everything. Medical cannabis is a safe and effective option for managing chronic pain. We can discuss different strains and delivery methods to find out what works best for you. Sarah says, that sounds good, doctor. I'm open to exploring all options. Dr. Lee says, excellent. I'll refer you to a specialist who can guide you through the process and ensure you receive the right dosage and support. Now, I'm not sure if that conversation would happen in the UK either, because I'm not sure that Dr. Lee is a specialist. He says he's going to refer you to a specialist, so that doesn't really happen in GP surgeries in the UK. You have to go private. So if you're interested in medical cannabis, look up for the medical cannabis private clinics on Medbud.wiki. I'll put a link in the description down below, Medbud.wiki, to find out all kinds of information about the clinics, the treatments, and you can do eligibility tests on the clinic websites to see if you're actually eligible for it. The cat and the chimpanzee. The cat and the chimpanzee. Okay, yeah, interesting conversations about to occur. Setting: a cozy living room with a cat perched on a windowsill and a chimpanzee on the couch. Chimpanzee may well be chilling out on the couch with a bit of a doobie, you never know. Characters: Felix, a sleek, intelligent cat observing the world with a curious gaze. Cosmo, a talkative, inquisitive chimpanzee fascinated by human culture. Talkative, yeah, these animals can talk, babies. Conversation. Cosmo says, Felix, have you heard of this cannabis? I keep seeing humans smoking it. Felix says, cannabis? Sounds like a fancy word for catnip, but way less potent. I've heard rumors. Some humans claim it makes them feel relaxed and giggly. Silly humans. Cosmo says, relaxed? Giggly? Sounds interesting. Maybe I should try some. I've been feeling stressed lately trying to solve this Sudoku puzzle. Chimpanzees getting ahead of their station. Felix, don't be ridiculous, Cosmo. You're a chimpanzee, not a human. You'll just end up feeling dazed and confused. Stick to banana peels for your mood swings. Cosmo says, maybe you're right. Maybe I'll just stick to my usual banana peels. But still, this cannabis sounds intriguing. I'll keep an eye on the humans and see what all the fuss is about. Felix says, you do that. Just try not to end up in a pile of crumpled newspapers like those poor cats who got their paws on catnip. Meow. There's your 3 conversations for the day, people. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Shiva Wilson, and we have been trying to legalize recreational cannabis in the UK. Good night.